My name is Caleb Burley, and the parrot has been dead the whole time.
My name is Sammy, and which starter Pokemon is the gayest?
My name is Cordell, and I used to think POV porn was from the point of view of the penis.
Welcome to Junk House! Oh my gosh.
That is a true fact.
It's an incredible true fact. Thank you for sharing.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Welcome back, all you lovely, wonderful junk fans, you junkies, I feel like junkies has become like the default thing I say as like referring to Junk House fans, but I don't know if we want to do that because that might be problematic. I don't know.
Yeah, we could probably figure out some later, but
House bunnies, that's it.
House bunnies?
House bunnies.
That's kind of cute, but that's
House
also
bunnies.
like
that's a Playboy thing. That's
that
was
Playboy
the joke.
You know what?
We should not do that.
Okay.
You know what, fans?
Because I liked it at first.
Oh, that's cute.
Like,
yeah, that's not sexual at all.
Oh,
we're talking about sexual liberation.
I'm a bunny.
Oh.
I play and I'm a bunny.
Oh. Fans, if you have an idea for what you want to be called, write it in. We may listen. Junksters, junctions,
the junk parlors.
Housemates. I don't know.
Housemates. Okay.
If you have ideas, you just reply to the show tweet for this tweet or for this episode or some. Tweet at us. Do something. Let us know what you guys want to be called. But yeah, do we want to go?
Are we just Philip DeFranco jump right into this?
Yeah, let's Philip DeFranco. We're just gonna jump right into this.
We're just gonna jump right in.
So, I think if people are like vaguely aware of comedy, specifically British comedy, you may realize I'm referencing the Dead Parrot sketch, and I'm specifically going to be talking about one of the writers, Graham Chapman.
This sketch, the name sounds familiar, but I am honestly to godly not remembering anything about it. I feel like I've seen it though.
So if you're not familiar with it, number one, look it up. It's still very funny. The sketch is
Monty
basically
Python, right?
Yes, a man attempts to return a parrot that he bought from a pet store that he figured out when he bought it was already dead.
Okay,
and the shopkeep does not want to deal with it and does not want to return it, or does not want to have it returned. But yeah, it's an incredibly funny thing. A lot of the things Graham Chapman in were very funny because he was a member of Monty Python. And you can walk up to any white man over 40 and ask them how they feel about Monty Python, and you'll get an earful about how they're God's gift to comedy and stuff. So I'm not gonna talk about it, because that's just
it's just well known.
You can hear it from everyone else. Yeah. There were a lot of things that Graham Chapman did to actually revolutionize comedy, though. And a little known fact is Graham Chapman was actually bisexual.
I did not know that.
He eventually died, and his partner, who I'm trying to remember, I don't remember his name, but he was married to a man.
David, I'm on his Wikipedia page. I'm sorry for interrupting you. His name is...
You're good. Go ahead.
David Sherlock.
Yeah, so David Sherlock and Graham Chapman were married. They adopted a son, and he was like a very proponent. He was just like, Graham Chapman state that he always had in interviews and statement that he said was, love is love. Why are we talking about it? there's no point in discussing this. There's nothing being advanced by challenging this.
Yeah.
Which I think is, you know what, for the time, a very bold stance to take. And you know what, for even now, a very bold stance.
Yeah. Like Love is Love is now, at least I've seen it a lot with pride stuff. Like that is like a very big thing nowadays. But yeah, like what years was this? Like the 60s?
This was in the 60s and 70s is when he was primarily active.
Ooh.
Yeah, very powerful. He died in 1989. But there are just some...
Yeah, with good music.
Yeah, died with good music.
Yeah, not a good song since 89, am I right? Am I right?
That's right.
When did the Pokemon
Walk
theme
the
song come
Moon
out?
sucks. Anyway.
97, probably.
I think so, yeah. But sorry.
Yeah. But there are lots of things that he did, including introducing the Parrot sketch. He's also notoriously very proud for actually being the first person to say shit on television.
That is, I love that so much.
He's very proud of it. Monty Python were big fans, and specifically him, of setting up a joke and then instead of delivering on it, having someone else come on stage and being like, "This is too silly. We're stopping right now." So if they were a big fan and they were a big proponent of what made absurdism popular in comedy.
Yeah, which is right up your alley.
It's right up my alley. I am like, whenever I actually sit down and I've done like 2 open mic comedy stand-ups my entire life. I hated both of them because I'm a fan of absurdism, and absurdism does not mix well with stand-up comedy if you don't do it exactly right.
And I think I feel like I'm interrupting you a lot, and I apologize.
No, good. Yeah, no, I don't care.
I think one of those was the open mic at the Harding Starbucks, right?
Oh, God.
I'm bringing that up only to say, if you know Harding, it's full of squares. So probably a ton of people that wouldn't have even got the absurdist humor. So like, it was I don't think it was bad because of you. I just wanted to say that. Like it felt bad because the audience is a load of Christians that are very uptight about everything.
There were a lot. Like I remember the one that I did, I actually kind of pulled inspiration from a Monty Python sketch for the whole bit. I had like a 10-minute stand-up thing worked out that they were letting me do, where the entire joke was that I, even though I'm fine in front of audiences, pretended to be so nervous that I shook the entire time and had a notebook with my jokes written in front of me and just read off the notebook the entire set and delivered monotoned the entire thing, including the opening joke, which was "My phone number is," and I said my actual phone number on stage and then said, "I'm lonely, call me." That was my opening joke. Which is
that may have been a little too too much of a head scratcher. Yeah.
No, it was to me hysterical. Like, and I think it was one of those jokes that I probably should have cut because it wasn't actually funny. And it did lead to people calling me for like a week and a half, seeing if I wanted to hang out. And being worried. Huh?
Did you hang out?
No, I never. I said that was a bit, guys. That wasn't real. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that was very much inspired by like Monty Python absurdism of like you pick a character and you stick to that character so hard until it's not funny. And you know what? I've been doing that my whole life. It's very fun.
The current character's name, Caleb Burley.
Yep. Current character. He's been running for 23 years. Pretty rough.
Yeah, everyone's real tired of the bit now.
I really like the character, I gotta say.
Oh, dang, we went wholesome with it. Yeah, I love the character.
We're good.
It's Pride Month.
We're good.
I'd kiss that character on the mouth if I could.
You can. Anyway,
Why'd you sound so pained?
Here's my thing. Whenever I am like even slightly uncomfortable, it just comes across as like extreme pain. And it's very funny. I know it's funny. Like, I know it's
good.
very funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, but back to like Graham Chapman specifically has been an inspiration for me my whole life, because he was just notorious for being very smart with his humor while also being wildly crass, including him writing the lyrics to a Monty Python song called "Sit on My Face," which literally is just him singing about, it's like, sit on my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit on your face and tell you I love you too. Like, it's that kind of stuff where it's just like, let's just do it. Let's just actually do it. And then one of my favorite, he was incredible and prolific. And I think it's notable that like the live Monty Python show that they did where Graham Chapman was alive was very good. The one that they did post his death is not well received and not very good.
Now, how much of that might just be due to the waning popularity of Monty Python at the time and in the present?
So I think that is part of it. But it's also one of those things where it's like their popularity is waning with younger people, but like with people my dad's age, Monty Python is still #1 A+ comedy. I was in Memphis with me and my fiance Olivia were in Memphis for my job about a week and a half ago now. And at one point my dad said, "Olivia, you've seen the Dead Parrot sketch, right?" And she said no. And my dad went on a rant about how Monty Python is the best comedy you can find. And while that's not true, there is much better comedy that has come out since. I think all of them, you can definitely see they're still an inspiration, though. I Think You Should Leave is very much, if you go back and watch Monty Python's Flying Circus, you see the DNA there of a lot of the bits. And same thing with Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun, another Netflix comedy thing. The DNA is always there. And a lot of comedians a lot of sketch comedians cite Monty Python these days.
Yeah.
And so I think the popularity being not as good, but it was also like part of what made Monty Python funny was they had no budget. And so they had to work with it. And so when they had a multi-million-dollar live show where you have a bunch of old men in their 60s doing jokes they've been doing for 60 years, it's not that good anymore.
Yeah. And I mean, there is, whenever you are popularized on a low budget gimmick, it is really hard to move into a higher budget, more technically advanced thing and keep your audience the way they had you, because you no longer feel the same.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Now, moving on a little bit, just to kind of this is just basically a brief biography. If you want an actual biography, his book is very funny and very good. It is called A Liar's Autobiography.
Okay, I love that.
It is very good. But basically, Graham Chapman struggled a lot of his life with addiction problems. Specifically with alcohol was his main thing. If you've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, any scene where King Arthur, who is played by Graham Chapman, is not facing the camera, it's not Graham Chapman, because he was shaking so much because he wasn't allowed to drink on set. Then his body was so dependent on alcohol that he would shake when he couldn't have it.
Damn.
And so they would literally have to like give him drinks before he could act.
Shit.
And eventually that is what killed him in 1989. He eventually got cancer because he got a tumor in one of his tonsils. And so the cancer killed him, but a lot of people also cite the fact that you can't drink when you're on chemo and you can't do that. That is what really kind of dealt with the last punch, was the fact that he could not really give up alcohol. While it was extremely sad that he died, obviously, there is some good stuff that has come out of his death, is that a lot of people have taken inspiration from him and ran with it. He was a very out there and upfront ally and member of the LGBTQ community. And all of that is just very good.
We love funny people in the LGBT. Also, he was very, very, like you said, very for the rights, for gay rights, very active.
He was very active in the gay rights. He was just there. There are a lot of like rumors around his death too. Specifically, he was cremated, and not a lot of people know where his ashes actually are. Because at one point, the other pythons jokingly brought his urn onto a stage and kicked over the ashes and vacuumed them up. But no one knows if those were his actual ashes.
If that was the legit urn or not, yeah.
So there's a lot of like, do people actually know if this is real kind of vibes?
Which I think he'd probably enjoy, to be honest.
He would. Yeah. And I mean, even like surrounding his death, the other pythons made jokes about it because they knew that if they were serious about it, that he would have been upset, including Terry Jones, another python who I believe has died now. He died a few years ago. Said that Graham Chapman is the biggest party pooper of all time. Which is very funny. John Cleese, who was another python at his funeral service, said that since Graham Chapman was so proud of being the first person to say shit on TV, that he would be the first person to say fuck in a British memorial service.
That's pretty good.
And there's lots of just little stuff like that. You know, Eric Idle leading "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life" at the funeral, like all that kind of stuff. Like Graham Chapman just lived infectiously joyously, and most people that said they met him said that he was this incredible person.
Yeah.
And of course there's speculations of what would comedy have looked like if he had gone on to do more. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that is a brief autobiography of Graham Chapman.
Not auto.
Yeah.
Not an autobiography.
Not an auto. No, a brief. No, it's an autobiography. I am him.
Whoa!
Pull back the Scooby-Doo mask.
I haven't told anybody about this. I am the reincarnation of him. Even down to the bisexuality.
Even down to the penis.
Yep.
Well, talking about reincarnation, let's talk about Pokemon. Because that has a lot to do with each other. So I have a question. Which starter Pokemon, specifically, I will say, well, we'll leave it on the floor. Probably not the first evolutions because they are children, but second evolution on, which starter, in your opinion, is the gayest? There is a correct answer, though.
All of them?
Of all of the starters.
Okay.
Not the full 800, 900 they got now, just the starters.
Well, yeah. That's still a good 18, 19, 21 maybe?
21?
24?
There's, yes, math. There's like this newest generation coming out is the 9th gen, I think.
Yeah, so
we're up to 8. 8
If we're-
times 3.
Yeah, that is
30.
well, 8 times 3, 8 times 6 really, because we have both of the evolutions.
You're right. I forgot. Oh God.
So yeah, there are 48
There's a
options
lot.
here.
There is a correct answer though.
Yes, and I think I know it.
Okay. Then I want to hear Cordell's first if you know the correct answer. And to make it easier, we could just go with which gen has the gayest starters?
I would say Gen 7 when they went to Alola. I think those starters, by and large, pretty dang gay.
Okay. Caleb.
I'm dropping a picture of the gayest second generation of a starter. It is Drizzile.
From the Galar
Galar,
region.
yeah.
From the Galar
Drizzile's
region.
pretty gay.
He is. That is a little gay boy not knowing what to do with himself.
Still shopping
He
at
just
Hot
wants to go to
Topic.
his room.
My opinion is also the Galar region has the gayest starters. If you look at just the final evolutions, they are so gay. They're all like different. Like I saw on Reddit or something forever ago that the 3 final evolutions of the Galar starters are just 3 different types of gay men.
Literally, like, oh, perfect. Because the final evolution of Sobble, I don't know his name.
Inteleon.
Inteleon, that's a twink.
That's a twink.
See, here's my counter argument though, and I just sent the Alola starters.
Okay.
Primarina is just unbelievably gay.
Now
that's a drag queen.
Now here is my issue with that. I just feel like Primarina is just a woman.
Okay. So you think she's just a lady?
I don't think she's drag. I think she's just a lady.
Okay. What about Incineroar just being the toppiest top?
I mean,
Incineroar gives the vibes of a DL guy, which people so I don't know if Cordell will know what that means. A DL guy is somebody that is gay, but usually has a partner and doesn't want to admit that they're gay, so they meet and hook up with guys on the down low, aka DL.
On the down low.
Okay. But then Decidueye also is a very specific kind of gay, a weeb gay, I would say.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
So that is why I put them 4th.
Okay,
but I could see why the Galar
fair.
region has a pretty gay group.
Well, yeah,
Inteleon is a twink.
We got Inteleon being a twink. We got Rillaboom kind of being a bear. That I forget. Is that okay to say?
Yes.
Bear?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Score. What's his name?
Cinderace.
Cinderace. Thank you.
Cinderace.
Cinderace is just the athletic gay, just the like super buff.
I think it's kind of like an athletic femboy though, because like
yes,
when you look at it, like
yes.
there's like very very slight feminine energy to
Yes.
Cinderace.
That's the big thing of you nailed it on the head. The difference between the Alola and the Galar is Alola just feels all over at least the final evolutions feels all over the gender spectrum. I don't know what the fuck
I barely knew him.
Spectrum, where I feel like Galar, they're very obviously all masculine and are all very gay masculine.
Yeah, no, I've seen the human version of Inteleon at every gay bar because they're the gay twink that is sitting at the end of the bar judging the people that are dancing and thinking, why are they even here? I'm just here to have a drink.
Yeah, very nice clothing.
Very nice clothing.
Drinking wine.
Rillaboom is 100% the guy that's in the drag room watching the drag shows and just being like, fuck yeah. I could never do it, but fuck yeah. Yeah.
It's not for
Wilburn's voice just about like this. It's just, it's pretty
and
great.
Teleon feels very much up here. It's very British for some reason. I guess Galler is completely supposed to be in the
British.
UK,
Yeah.
but
And then Cinderace, it's like that slightly like feminine to where it's like if you were drunk and looking at them, you might be like, "That's a girl," and then walk away. But like, definitely,
It's the hips.
It's the hips.
You see Cinderace from
hips,
behind at a
you're right.
party, and you're like, "Ooh, look at her!"
that ass,
And then you come around the front, and you're like, look at him.
that ass, that man ass,
That mass.
that mass.
Give
Ooh,
me
that's
that
good.
man ass.
But we do just have to say, Caleb, I do believe that your initial reaction of Drizzle
Drizzile.
Drizzile is very. Drizzile feels like
He feels like every closeted gay kid you knew in high school.
That did theater.
I was gonna say either that or a before HRT trans woman.
Interesting. Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Because it's just feminine enough where it's like, I feel like the person, they're actively trying to look feminine.
I don't know. I personally, being very, very close to a pre-HRT trans man, think that's a trans man. I've cut my hair real short.
Ooh, yeah.
I've affected these masculine-ish things of how I'm trying to feel that way as I'm figuring out what it means for me to be a man.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying. I think that is a trans man pre-hormone therapy.
I think that is very accurate. I think you're correct.
I'll have to find this again, but there was. I have to find this. There was once where I saw it was here it is.
Also, Infernape is pretty gay, we gotta say.
Yeah, Infernape is pretty gay. I found this, and I think I've sent it to Sammy before. But
ooh, I have seen. I don't know if you sent me this, but I feel like I saw it on Reddit. What it is it's Caterpie and Weedle, their evolution line, and it's showing Caterpie
It's them transitioning.
Yeah, it shows Caterpie transitioning into Caterpie being a trans woman and Weedle being a trans man.
yeah, that
It's very
floated
cute.
around Tumblr a lot. And I remember seeing it and always just being like, cool.
True.
Yeah. But I remember seeing that, and I think I agree with Cordell because Drizzile gives the same energy as this cartoon Kakuna.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like covering
Mhm.
body. Yeah.
Baggier,
But-
shorter hair. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the same vein, to support Cordell's theory, Datrix kind of has the same energy of Metapod in this comic.
I could see that with
That
Dartrix,
is very true. Yeah.
So I'm theorizing Decidui
Ooh.
is a trans woman. That here's my headcanon, okay? And just everyone just imagine this.
Okay.
Decidui is
Closing
a
my
trans
eyes.
woman. Is a trans woman that for medical purposes had to stop HRT, but is comfortable in the skin they're in and accepted the inner femininity.
Hmm.
The femininity, if you will.
Femininity. I
Which is also
think that's perfect.
you didn't intend this, but go Pokemon for that representation.
Proud of you, Pokemon. Now I'm also realizing why I think I see Primarina as female.
I have to look at Primarina.
Why?
Because we had discussed earlier in a different episode, I don't remember which one, I had talked about how at some point we were going to try and find both of yours dual typing of Pokemon. Because I had a long discussion with people and we had discovered that mine is Water Fairy. And the only like 2 or 3 Water Fairy Pokemon is Primarina and like Azumarill.
Yeah.
And I was like, Azumarill is, I think I said, Azumarill is what I look like now. Primarina is what I want to get to. So in my mind, it's a goal of femininity. So I didn't see I might have subconsciously been like, oh, there's no way it's a drag because it has to be a woman. But I also, I think you are right. It could be a drag queen.
If you look for the common characteristics of drag, there is the very ornate, ostentatious get up. There's the styling in the hair. There's the lots of makeup. There's the very like flashy outfit. Like this is Primarina wants you to look.
Yeah, that's very true. So I think you're right. You go, Caleb.
I think all Pokemon are gay.
I think all Pokemon are gay.
All Pokemon are gay. Like, let me just Google.
The only ones that aren't gay are the ones that look like animals.
Well, no,
okay. Cordell,
I don't know.
Cordell, just name a Pokemon that
Tauros.
I don't care. Huh?
Tauros.
How do I spell that? I'm dumb.
Tauros.
It's the bull guy from the first gen.
Oh, Taurus. Taurus. Pokemon.
Pochimom.
Okay.
Pochimom.
I'm looking at Taurus right now. You know what Taurus is in gay terms? Taurus is 100% a bear. Like, I look at that and I'm like, that man goes, works out, is jacked, goes to the bar, drinks a beer, and just goes and fucks a twink.
I think I would agree with that.
I'm gonna find the straight Pokemon.
Okay. While you were finding that, did you have words you were going to say?
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to click this until now. Rate Kamala on the gay scale. 1 to 10.
Where'd you send Kamala?
I didn't. Let me send it. He's the koala guy.
It's the koala that's sleeping on a log.
Yeah, I did a random Pokemon generator and clicked it like 12 times and stopped on Kamala.
So here's the thing. Kamala is the same type of gay that I am. He's bisexual and he's always tired.
True.
That's it.
True.
Like Kamala and I have the same energy. It's just always tired and always gay.
You know, I'm trying to find a straight Pokemon, but you sick freaks are really good at making everything gay. I'm having a hard time. I'm reading it going, ooh, maybe, but then thinking of exactly what you'll say to tell me how it's gay.
What do you think about Obstagoon?
I almost brought up Obstagoon, but Obstagoon is clearly like trans man in a Kiss cover band.
Okay. Yeah.
Nah, see, I just think Obstagoon is the type of guy that's like, let me do my Obstagoon impression, and I'm going to back up from the mic because it's going to be loud, okay? Okay?
Okay.
I don't care what they look like. I'm just ready to fuck.
Oh, dang it. You're right.
And he sticks out his tongue a lot. And he thinks he's Mick Jagger. Or Gene Simmons, more likely.
What about Pangoro?
I think Pangoro's the surprise gay. You know, like you're really, really certain they're straight until they walk in with their partner.
Ooh, and I feel like Blissey is the exact opposite.
Blissey's the partner. What are you talking about?
But you don't. I was saying, I think you don't. You think they're gay, but it turns out Blissey's actually straight.
Blissey's the
Blissey
straight Pokemon.
and Pangoro are both bisexual.
There we go.
And married to each other.
There we go.
Apom is really good at hand jobs. That's all.
Ambipom has 2 hands.
Only surpassed by Ambipom.
I think we are overlooking the true straight Pokemon.
Our Lord and Savior, Jesus. I'm sorry.
I'm sending it in chat right now. But for those of you listening at home, you will hear the surprised reaction of these two not realizing that this is the straight Pokemon. I'm sending it right now. That is the only straight Pokemon is Magikarp.
Is Gyarados gay though?
Gyarados is straight. Gyarados is a straight guy that yells at you about how straight he is.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's accurate.
Like Magikarp is Magikarp to Gyarados is the hesitant ally to jumping into hardcore straight anti-gay pipeline.
True and true. I love that though.
Arceus is asexual. I said it.
For sure. 100%. I mean, Arceus is a god. So, but not...
All the god Pokemon are asexual.
Yeah. They literally don't have a sex.
Yep.
That's literally true.
That's literally true. Okay, but Hirayama's pretty straight too.
Hirayama. I don't know who that is.
That's a fighting type from Gen 3, yeah.
Yeah, he's like the big sumo bro. And he's got 3 fingers. And he's like, hey up.
Oh.
You want to know a fun fact about
one.
Hariyama? My brother and I growing up would always go, Harry Mama.
He's a Harry
That's
Mama.
the fun fact.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it up at the end here. Just because I really feel like we just let the door close on it. I want to bring it up again for my own suffering. I legitimately thought point of view porn was from the point of view of the penis.
That is incredible.
Like, I thought they put a little camera on the tip and you would just almost like a medical
they just got
video.
Like a micro GoPro and strapped it to the head of some guy's cock and just said, go for it.
That's what I assumed it was.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I legit was like, I don't get the
so
appeal,
funny.
but okay.
Okay. Maybe for scientific reasons, I guess.
For scientific... I'm studying this for scientific reasons. I am going to make point of view pornography.
You are getting
it's
married.
For science. It's for science.
So yeah, I was just bringing that back up because I don't really have a section this episode, and I wonder why.
The reason why is because we have our first ever house guest.
House guest.
Woo!
Woo!
Our house guest. A house guest is just a guest on the podcast. If you didn't get that from me saying the term. But yeah, so our first house guest is going to be my really good friend, really close friend, Fielding. And we're going to get into that. But first, let's check in with Sammy and Fielding. Hey, Sammy and Fielding, how's Fayetteville Pride going?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, we've got our first ever house guest. We got Fielding.
It's me. Hello, everyone.
Top
Hi,
20
Fielding.
Smash player.
Hi, Fielding. Hello. I know we've said house guest already more than once on this podcast. How do we feel about guesticle? I just want to throw out alternative names. And
How
that
does-
one just...
As the first guest, Fielding, how do you feel about guesticle?
I think guesticle is very apt and appropriate for this podcast. So I
Okay,
will
I still like house
more
guests,
than
though.
happily wear that moniker on my forehead.
Well, yes.
I
yeah,
think the
thank
beauty
you.
of this house being full of junk is that we can just keep throwing names and titles at whatever we want.
Yeah.
And it never matters.
This is just our first guesticle to drop. I just that's what's going on.
God damn it.
How long did you work on that? How long did you work
how
on that?
long?
I thought about that since this morning.
God
I
damn
literally
it.
woke up at like 7 a.m. and by 7:30 I was like, oh fuck, I gotta do a guesticle joke.
Okay, well,
Well, I just dropped, but now I'm just hanging out.
yeah. Just hanging
And
around.
altering the levels of hanging depending on the temperature.
It is true. It is true. If it gets really hot, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I have the AC on, so I'm good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Fielding is one of my closest friends. I've known them forever. Sweetheart, very smart,
Since
great
we were
person.
babies.
Since we were whittle babies before we even knew either of us were trans. But talking about that, it is Pride Month. So how do you identify yourself?
I am non-binary. I do consider myself trans femme as well. Mainly just because I'm on male to female hormones. I wouldn't consider myself a trans woman, but just non-binary person that is also happening to grow some titties.
Hell yeah.
We're fans of titties on this
We're-
podcast.
Mhm. I
we
figured.
like titties here.
Big fan of titties.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I was gonna say. My brain
As soon as
spaced.
titties is on the mind, everything
Titties,
else goes
I
out the
like-
window. Huh?
It's
Oh,
real though. Like I cannot think.
Titties reminded me. It's like the best. I don't know if I heard you say this or if it was somebody else, but it was like non-binary, but the baseline is feminine or wanting to be feminine. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to identify you for you, but I
No,
guess
of
that
course.
was a good way to. Yeah. But yeah, I honestly was just like, I really love Fielding. And if I could give Fielding on this podcast that I also really love doing, even for an episode, I'm going to do it.
Well, congratulations, you did it. I'm here, and you did it so well that Caleb here thought of a joke this morning,
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
before I was even scheduled to be on, before you even recorded 2 whole podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like the origin of like all of my jokes though, is I thought I like no joke is spontaneous for me. I
mean,
thought of
yeah.
it like 12 hours ago. Like
Yeah.
100%. It's gotta be like
Imagine if
if it ever
stand-up
sounds
comedians didn't have anything written down, and they just like showed up and just
Yeah.
started talking.
yeah.
Well,
That's
the
ridiculous.
funny thing is that if I get a joke that I think of ahead of time, I am not present for the entire rest of the event until I can make that joke. You know, it's like just, oh, I've got a real good one. Then I ruin everything else in preparation for the good thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I
do that a lot,
I
too.
I don't know. It's like I don't prepare for the rest of this show. I needed to prepare something to feel like I did something for this show.
Yeah.
And so I guess that just turned into guesticle. Like
As Fielding is now learning, we don't prep a lot for this podcast.
I wouldn't have it
Yeah.
any other way, because what
Yeah.
kind of, like, if you have a comedy podcast, comedy shitpost podcast, Junk House, I mean, just that in itself, how do you plan for that sort of thing? If you plan that, I feel like it doesn't ever come out really Junk House. You know what I mean? Maybe like a little bit, remodeled house you're looking at.
Yeah,
there.
like a fixer-upper house.
Yeah. Rental property.
No, a junk house is what you invite your girl over to, and you're literally just like, I don't have any plans with this girl. Like, she is just coming over, and we're gonna probably make dinner, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then she never calls you again because it is like messy and so disorganized, and your
You don't
2
have a
other
couch.
roommates are there who never wear their shoes and never shower.
That is.
I feel like this is coming from an experience.
That's never happened to me before. I don't know where that came from, but I'm
that
sure
is
one of our listeners right now is thinking, "Oh my god, they are tapped directly into me right now."
Yeah.
That I just feel like that is the most accurate description of this podcast that has ever been said so far, and that is incredible.
This
Our
podcast
demographic is specifically can't get a second date.
That's veering dangerously close to our demographic is incel. Like that's just very
No. They can get it on the first date, but they might not get a second date.
That's fair. That's
God
fair.
damn.
You can bone down on a first date, Caleb. This isn't 1920.
Mm-hmm. We're less of a one night stand and more of a one night kneel, if you know what I mean.
Lean.
Yeah,
Might not go all the way, but we'll go somewhere.
This
We'll
podcast
be there
does
a little
not
bit.
have a bed frame underneath their bed. They just have a
True.
mattress.
Just a
Nope.
mattress.
Nope. Yeah.
Raw dog mattress on the floor. And you know what?
No
Not even
couch.
sheets. They have a sleeping bag they got on clearance at Walmart for $20.
This podcast has 10 to-go cups.
Oh, dang it.
Wow.
This podcast has one pan, one pot, and one set of silverware, but somehow 30 forks.
And no soap.
No soap.
No soap.
This podcast only has one set of sheets.
One set of sheets,
We-
and they don't
and-
use them.
Yeah. We don't wash them
We
either.
don't wash them. That's why we have the sleeping bag. We sleep on top of the sheets.
One pillow.
One pillow.
Oh, God,
no pillowcase,
But
just
it's
a
a-
t-shirt.
No.
But no, it's a throw pillow. It's not even a regular pillow.
Oh, you're hurting me. Like this is physically hurting me to think about because I am a person that even if I'm like sleeping by myself, like it's very funny because like I have 4 pillows on my bed, which most people assume it's like, oh, 2 for you, and like when your partner stays the night, like your fiance has 2 pillows. No, those are 4 pillows for me because sometimes I want my head more elevated. I'll use 3 pillows and I'm gonna hug the other one because my partner isn't there sometimes and I need something to hug.
Would you
Wait,
notice it if I put a pea underneath your pillows?
I would notice 100%.
do you sleep with more than one pillow, like as the baseline?
Yes.
Because I'm a one pillow person. Like
I'm a
I
two
do
pillow.
not want
God.
a second pillow in the
Oh,
like if
God.
I'm okay with having like the second pillow because I do share the bed, but like I want my pillow and my pillow alone. I don't want a second pillow.
Well, if you
I
only
don't
have
want
one
that.
pillow, are we talking a firm pillow or like very light
This is
feathery
important.
pillow?
Is it
It's
a thick
Important
pillow?
distinction.
It is a middle of the road in terms of firmness. I want there to be enough give that I don't feel like my neck is propped up, but I don't want there to be so little give that I feel like I'm just laying on the bed.
How
You know what I'm
old
saying?
is
Like-
the pillow?
Yeah.
My pillows can never last more than 2 years before I
Okay.
get really sick of them, and I
Good.
need a new
Okay.
pillow.
At least we're changing pillows. Often.
Oh, I have
Semi-often.
to because my head weighs so much that they lose their shape.
Same. Big
Just
head.
a big-headed freak.
To go back to something you said at the very beginning, I think it's the very funny image of you going, I only want one pillow in the bed, and your wife just not having a pillow is very funny to me.
Yeah. Emily's just like, she's not even in the bed. I'm like, no, I need my
Sleep on the
space.
couch.
Sorry, babe. One last name, one pillow.
You chose this. I said, hey, if
That's
you
so
want
good.
to take my last name, you don't get a pillow.
Yeah.
That was
That's
the
weird.
weirdest shit you
Why
ever
am I
put in your
marrying you?
vows.
Yeah. I
That
don't
was
know why
wild
that was
to
in there.
hear on your wedding day. Was your officiant sitting there and being like, "Do you promise to take each other in one pillow and one pillow?"
Well, you know, the ring bearer is the one who's carrying the ring on the pillow. That's the one that
one
they're,
pillow.
you know,
That's the pillow
taking
that they-
away from
that-
her in the ceremony.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
surprisingly, it's also the pillow they have to have sex on the night of the wedding.
Yeah, it's kind of
that's how
weird
you
that they have the
consummate
kid carry
marriage.
that. Personally,
It's
that pillow is
wild.
the pillow we both put our heads on, but it's also the pillow we use to prop up for sexy times. So it is
Yeah.
the splooge pillow and the sleep pillow.
I hate
And the
that
kid
word.
pillow.
Nope. Bad.
I do
hate
play a
the-
fun game on this show where I try to find the conversational line.
Yeah.
And I think I found it.
I think we found it.
Yep.
I think Caleb is always the first person to point out when that line is crossed. That's the
Yeah.
vibe
Very
that I'm
much.
getting.
Yeah. But I did want to hear from you, Fielding. We talked about gay Pokemon. We talked about gay starters. What do you think the gayest starter Pokemon is? Are
no first evolution though. It has to be second or third form.
Because the first gen are children.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll need to look up a list for myself.
Yeah.
I can barely remember all the first starters. Now you're pulling out the second and third evolutions on me.
I relate to this great. It's like I can remember the first evolution and the final evolution. It's all those middle ones that you're literally just sitting there being like, I don't care about Charmander. I just want Charizard.
Charmeleon's the middle. Caleb earlier was like, Cordell, name a Pokemon. And I did. And he said, I don't know that one.
We also specified a region just to make it easier. If there was like one region that is the gayest, and not to put anything in your mind, but me and Caleb had the same region in mind, and Cordell did not. But Cordell kind of convinced me a little bit. I still think mine is the gayest, but I would agree that Cordell's is the second gayest.
Okay. I think I have my answer for first gayest. The most gayest second evolution is Rowlet, the little owl guy, and his second evolution is just such fruity vibes.
Yeah,
Dartrix. Yep.
He looks like one of those preppy gays. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, with the little.
We didn't
bow
really
tie.
talk about
That
the
is very
preppy
true.
gays very much.
We didn't really touch the gays.
Caleb brought the conclusion, or was it somebody brought up the conclusion that Decidueye is a trans woman, not on HRT.
How did we arrive at this conclusion? That seems like a lot of logical hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
There was a
So
whole thing. You should really listen to our podcast.
Okay, listen. Are you talking about the
Here is
episode that
the-
you just recorded?
Yeah. No, the one we're currently recording, you should go back and listen to.
Okay.
Fielding.
Yes.
How up
you're
to
right.
date are you?
My logic,
Sorry for missing it.
Yeah,
Fielding
my
is-
logic.
One of the biggest fans of Junkhouse, we'll say.
My logic was that Rowlet seemed like just like a young trans woman, and then Dartrix looks like they started the HRT, but Decidueye looks like for some reason they had to stop the HRT, and so and now they're just kind of like, I don't know, living their best life. I don't remember my logic. I've had alcohol and I'm tired, and we've talked about how POV porn is from the view of the penis since then. Gesticle happened. There's been so much, and I barely
There's so
remember.
much.
If there's any starter that is trans, Blaziken has got to be it for me.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's a really good point. I didn't even
Okay.
think about it like that.
In which direction?
Trans masculine.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely Blaziken vibes for me. I won't go into detail on that because I feel like we'll just get lost in the weeds talking about gender of Pokemon, but
I mean, that's kind of what we did already, so it's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
This
want
whole
to
show's just
revisit a
getting lost in the
discussion that
weeds.
I, remember having. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that you remember listening to in
That you
our
remember listening to,
wonderful,
yeah.
surprisingly #1 on Apple Podcasts in every category: news, science,
Yep.
except comedy for some reason.
yeah, I heard
We
about it
are
on the
we are
news,
on
actually.
the New York Times bestseller book list actually as well.
Actually,
Yeah, it's wild.
Michael Bloomberg really loves this podcast and shouts this out to all of his followers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the
Michael
only reason
Bloomberg
Fielding listens.
Is a
'Cause
person.
Bloomberg-
Yeah, I'm just a Bloomberg head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know you Bloomheads out there love this
Yeah, I
shit.
was about to say sentences that were never said before.
Shout out
Yeah,
to all my
I'm a
Bloomheads
Bloomberger.
out there.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just Bloombergians.
Bloomberger is infinitely better. Fuck.
Wow. Wow. Fielding is just incredible. Shout out Fielding.
Shout out.
What can I say? I'm pretty junky.
Yeah, Fielding, come on the
junky.
show.
Let me on. Put me on. I'm on
Oh.
right now.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
What?
you're there right
we're
now.
recording? Oh my god.
Has this microphone been here the whole time?
You're on Punked. I'm Ashton Kutcher.
So still Pride Month, still gay. One of Fielding's favorite game, if not Fielding's favorite game, is Smash Brothers. Who's the gayest Smash brother
Of the current roster?
of the
with
current
DLC?
roster with DLC?
That's a lot of Smash Brothers.
That's a
That's
lot.
interesting. What's the gayest? Okay, hold on.
I have an idea.
As in who are the characters that seem to be gay, or who are the characters that gay people seem to pick?
Ooh, both are actually very interesting.
Both is good.
I can tell you, number
Let's do
one,
both.
like a character that gay people pick, gotta be Peach.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That feels very accurate.
So many gay Peach players, like across games too, not just the most recent Smash Ultimate. I'm talking all the way back to Melee.
the Elder Gays main
Exactly.
Peach in Melee.
The Elder Gaze. The Elder
For you guys,
Scrolls.
I just dropped a current roster for the latest Smash Bros. In text chat to make it easier for you guys. And it has
I
pictures, so.
feel like I've got a concept of who the gayest Smash brother may be.
I feel like there are some of these that gave me vibes. Ice Climbers is a bi couple looking for a third.
They're
The-
brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What?
sicko. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I didn't
Yes.
realize Ice Climbers had fucking lore.
I didn't know you rocked like that, Caleb.
They're from a game, Caleb. That's the whole point of Smash Brothers.
I didn't know they had a game. Do you know
Yeah,
my gaming
yeah.
knowledge is like zero?
All of
every
them.
character in this game has a game.
Oh shit!
I
Except
don't
for
know
the
what
Mii
Min Min
fighters.
is from, but she seems pretty gay.
Wii Sports.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying Wii Sports is for me
Min
fighters.
Min is from Punch Out. I feel
I
like
mean-
the gayest character has got to be Shulk, with specifically
Mm.
with his no shirt alt. Very,
Mm.
very, very twinky in that particular costume.
Oh,
I-
Min Min is from.
I had
Arms,
I had
Cordell.
another idea, but
I would like to posit that Lucas might just be the gayest Smash brother. Look at his perfectly
Mm.
coiffed hair.
It is very perfectly coiffed.
Then again, if we're going by nice hair as a metric, then Sephiroth is the gayest out of all of them.
I was gonna say Sephiroth. Sephiroth is my vote for gayest, not just because of the hair.
He's
just-
very gay.
He's very gay.
I
He's
feel like
literally
Rob should count like as a part of the LGBT spectrum. You could make the argument that he's asexual because he is a robot.
Hear me
Yeah.
out.
non-binary.
Piranha
asexual.
Plant because of how often he gobbles up Mario.
Piranha Plant does have them big ass lips, dude.
Big
Yeah,
ass
I
lips,
was gonna
bro.
say like, so Byleth is definitely like trans icon because you can just switch back and forth. But also, I feel
Mhm.
like Pokemon Trainer would be popular with the gay community because you can just transition so easily. It's just
It's
a down
not transitioning from male to female though. It's transitioning from a water turtle to a fire dragon,
yeah.
which also is
what's-
pretty
wh-
awesome.
What more could you
It's
want?
dope.
True.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
The gayest character is King DDD because it's right there in the name.
It stands for Dick Dick Dick.
I was gonna
Dick
say
eating,
Robin
dick
is a
eating.
pillow princess.
Rob is
Robin.
Robin. Okay.
Robin is a
male
pillow
male
princess.
Robin.
Male Robin. Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
Where's Robin?
There's several
Robin!
names.
Also,
You're
Incineroar
not
is number
wrong.
69. Nice.
Okay. Yeah. How do
Do you think
feel?
Rosalina and Luma ever experimented with their sexualities together?
Well, I think Rosalina commands the Lumas, So, I mean,
Oh.
Would
but
not
yes,
be like a
but
HR
yes.
report.
I would be concerned if Rosalina had not already tried that, to be honest. A star?
Right?
Going down
A
there?
star.
Are you
A
joking me?
sentient star? You got
There's
it.
so many of them, and there has to be a few freaky ones that are like, yeah, I know you're my master, but you're my master.
Oh, I'm gonna supernova.
I'm gonna fucking, I'm about to supernova.
I mean, Pac-Man.
Okay,
I feel like if we're going off things that just gobble things up, like Wario would be in the
Yeah.
list of like.
How have we not already talked about Wario?
is bisexual in the same way that Creed Bratton from The Office is.
Yeah.
wow,
God,
that is the
yes.
best way to say it ever.
Oh gosh, that's so perfect. Oh man.
Okay, but now just like with the Pokemon conversation, the straightest Smash Brothers.
That's important.
The straightest Pit. Are you kidding me?
No, Pit's a twink.
Mario's the straightest.
Okay, but
Steve
what if
from Minecraft.
All he wants is Princess Peach's peach.
Are we sure it's not Captain Falcon?
I was about to posit Captain
he-
Falcon.
Okay.
He
yeah.
is
Captain
a
Falcon's an incel.
He
for
is
sure.
No,
maybe not an
knows how to
incel.
move his body too well to be.
He is
totally
a
straight.
NASCAR driver. And I'm not saying all NASCAR drivers are
Have you seen the way he moves his legs?
He moves his legs really well, actually. Yoshi, I'm pretty sure Yoshi's hot for that weird Birdo freak.
Now, Birdo is
Birdo's a trans
gender,
icon.
Gender bent.
yeah,
Yes.
Bird is trans for sure. Okay.
Oh.
Whoa. Roy. Roy is straight. Roy is
Roy.
aggressively straight.
I don't know.
Roy's
he's kinda
our boy.
twinky.
He's
His
kind
name
of
is
twinky.
Roy.
Ganondorf.
No, Wolf is the straightest.
No,
Wolf.
Ganondorf secretly wants Link. We all know it. We've all read
Yeah.
the fan fiction.
Minecraft Steve.
He's literally the straightest.
Dude.
But
Wait, Donkey Kong seems pretty straight to me.
Especially if you put him with the white
No.
fur, then he becomes Republican Kong. And that is
Republican Kong.
Me and Dan.
Is
me
it
and my
really
little brother
straight? Is
have always
Republican
called
really
it.
straight? Because I was having the same thought about Simon and Richter. How they're like, very
Mm.
orthodox and like have crosses and all that stuff. I was thinking, are they so straight because they're anti-gay, or are they like anti-gay politicians that, behind closed
I
doors?
just think,
all bets are off.
yeah, I just think the more fearful of gays you are, the more you're not confronting your own inner gayness.
True.
So you're really saying it's a toss-up.
Yeah. King K. Rool seems freakishly straight. Like he is obsessive about women.
Nah, King K. Rool is the same thing as what I said of Obstagoon. Let me back up and do my King K. Rool impression. Okay, ready? I'm gonna back up. I don't care what they look like. I'm ready to fuck. That's King K. Rool.
yeah.
He's just, come on, guys.
K-Rool definitely loves trans women. I know that about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Snake is straight, right? Like super straight.
Yeah, he's like military vibes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they all shower together, which confuses me.
Gay. Yeah, it gets to a point where someone or something is so straight it kind of wraps around the other end a little bit.
Yeah, like when the athletes in high school would call me gay, like they didn't shower with men.
And you showered with women,
Now,
so you admit it. You've showered with multiple women.
oh no, no.
Showered with women.
Clip it and ship it. We got him.
Fielding takes their mask off, and it's Emily.
I knew it. I have one thing to say and then we can be wrapping up. But Ridley, I feel like, is the type of gay that just hates all women.
Oh,
Just very
yeah.
anti-woman gay. Because
Isn't really a girl?
I thought Ridley was a man.
Ridley might be a lit. Well, they've actually said the whole Metroid franchise is about tricking people into thinking their characters are dudes when they're actually ladies.
Yeah.
They've gone on
Ooh.
record.
Yeah.
I mean, they got my ass with Samus. They sure did.
We all thought Samus was a dude because of our own internal
And then
misogyny.
Zero Suit Samus came out, and we were all like, wait a second.
Wait a minute. Hold up. You mean a buff person can be a woman?
That's like that moment in Mulan when What's-His-Face realizes Mulan was not a dude. And he's like, well, I confronted a lot of inner demons here to get into this.
I've thought about that before, too. Like, if I was in Mulan and then my boy was just like, yo, I'm not actually a boy. I mean,
Like,
I probably
you
would have
realize- yeah.
already been thinking that he was cute to begin with, to be honest. So
Truly.
But like you confront your own sexuality to realize you could be comfortable with a man,
True.
only to find out the man you were ready to turn for was a woman the whole time. I'd be really conflicted about that.
Google says Ridley is male.
There we go.
Also, Ridley is the name, at least, is based off of the female Ripley
Yes.
Ridley Scott, the creator of Alien. The
Yep.
movie
Who is
Alien.
the male Ripley?
what about Daisy Ridley? Nice try.
Ooh,
Idiot.
What a queen. But I think that's about our time. So, like, Feeling, do you have anything you want to shout out? Is there anything you want to plug?
I want to plug my cereal reviews. Find me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Find me on Twitter and stream all of my cereal reviews, and also on my YouTube. I do the cereal reviews there. Also my Vimeo. Hit me up on MySpace. Add me on LinkedIn. Send me a request there, and we can be a part of our networks together. So we can raise up our net worth, if you know what I'm talking about.
Say your Twitter at, though.
My Twitter at is, it looks like Fieldin, but the I's are L's. So it's FLELDLN.
Hell yeah.
Fleldon.
Yes,
All right.
Fleldon.
And Caleb, where can we find you on the Twitter?
You can follow me at awkward from 1997. I don't have serial reviews, but watch Fieldings.
Fielding serial reviews are actually incredible. They're hilarious. So you really do need to check them out.
And they come out on a famously very regular basis, so be sure to tune
Very
in.
famously, yeah.
Yeah, very famously. You can set your clock to those. Cordell, where can we find you?
Yeah, Cordell.
You can find me at Cordelicious, like Fergalicious, but with my name. And honestly, if you get on any social media and look that up, you're likely to find me because I've somehow cornered the market on Cordelicious.
That's pretty dope.
Out of all the Cordells out there, I'm very impressed that you nabbed this.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm
We
proud
tend
of
to
you.
think kind of similarly as the Cordies, so I don't know.
You are a hive mind. Talking about hive minds, you can find my Twitter at Mother Moth, but the O's are X's. It's really cool. We also got a Junk House Twitter. The O in the house is a 0 though, because somebody stole the other Junk House and we haven't trademarked the name yet, so we can't take it over yet. Also, we have an
Thank you to
email.
we do have an email. It's junkhousemmailbox@gmail.com. Thank you to the one and only Reverend Horton Heat for letting us use their song Psychobilly Freakout as our beginning and ending music. And just like we say every week,
Get junked.
get junked, you poser.
Get your shoes off the couch.
Stop
junkie
junking
poser.
off the couch.
Drink your chocolate milk.
It's a psychobilly